Hey there, fellow travelers. Today we're diving into the world of hidden gems, countries you may not know exist. Let's get started. You know, the world is vast, and our maps, while seemingly comprehensive, often gloss over the intricate details, the tiny dots of sovereignty that pulse with their own unique life and history. We tend to focus on the big players, the G20s, the nations that dominate headlines. But what about the others? The ones that, through quirks of geography, history, or sheer scale, remain just outside the periphery of our everyday awareness. It's like knowing all the blockbuster movies but missing out on the indie films that often carry the most profound stories. These aren't just geographical footnotes, they are vibrant communities, each with a story to tell, a culture to explore, and a unique perspective on what it means to be a nation in this complex, interconnected world. Learning about them isn't just a trivia exercise, it's an expansion of our understanding of human society, resilience, and the sheer diversity of our planet. It challenges our preconceived notions of what a country should be and opens our minds to the incredible mosaic of human experience. Think of it as stretching your cognitive map, adding new fascinating territories to your internal globe. So, prepare to have your worldview gently but profoundly expanded. We're going on an adventure, not with backpacks and passports, though I highly recommend those too, but with curiosity as our compass and a desire to uncover the narratives of places that deserve to be known. We'll explore their geography, their people, their challenges, and their triumphs. Because understanding these hidden gems isn't just about them. It's about us too, and our place in a world far richer and more varied than we often imagine. First up on our grand tour of the often overlooked is Tuvalu. Picture this, 9 tiny coral atolls scattered like jewels across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, somewhere between Hawaii and Australia. It's the kind of place that postcards dream of being from, with impossibly blue waters, swaying palm trees, and a pace of life that makes a snail look like a speed demon. But Tuvalu is so much more than a picturesque screensaver. It's a sovereign nation, a member of the Commonwealth, and a stark, poignant symbol of one of the 21st century's most pressing crises. Its highest point is barely 4.6 meters, or about 15 feet above sea level. Think about that for a second. That's less than the height of a giraffe or a particularly ambitious 2-story house. The very existence of Tuvalu is a testament to human resilience and adaptation. Polynesians settled these islands centuries ago, developing a unique culture intricately woven with the ocean. Their traditions, their language, their entire way of life are inseparable from the sea that now threatens to engulf them. Imagine living with the constant existential dread that your homeland, the soil your ancestors are buried in, the place where your children play, could literally vanish beneath the waves within your lifetime. This isn't some abstract dystopian future. For the approximately 11,000 Tuvaluans, it's a looming, terrifying reality, a slow-motion catastrophe driven by forces largely outside their control. Life in Tuvalu is, by necessity, communal. Resources are shared, decisions are often made collectively, and there's a deep sense of interconnectedness. Falekaupul, the traditional island council, still plays a vital role. Their economy is modest, heavily reliant on things like fishing licenses, foreign aid, and rather famously, the revenue from their TV internet domain. Yes, that little suffix you see on countless streaming and video websites. That's Tuvalu. It's a fascinating example of how even the smallest nations can find unique niches in the globalized world, a digital lifeline in an increasingly precarious physical environment. It's a modern irony, isn't it, that a nation so vulnerable to the physical world finds a significant economic anchor in the virtual one. But the shadow of climate change looms large, an undeniable ever-present character in the Tuvaluan story. Rising sea levels, king tides that flood homes and contaminate freshwater sources, and increased storm intensity are not abstract scientific models here. They are lived experiences. Tuvalu has become a powerful voice on the international stage, a David pleading with the Goliaths of the industrialized world to take meaningful action on carbon emissions. Their leaders have eloquently and desperately highlighted their plight, reminding us that climate change isn't just about polar bears, it's about people, cultures, and entire nations facing obliteration. So when you think of Tuvalu, don't just picture a remote idyllic paradise. See it as a front line, a canary in the coal mine of our warming planet. Its beauty is undeniable, but its vulnerability is a profound call to action for all of us. It's a reminder that our world is interconnected in ways we often ignore, and that the fate of a tiny island nation in the Pacific can and should concern every single one of us. Tuvalu's story is a crucial part of the larger narrative of our shared human future, a future we're all co-authoring, whether we realize it or not. Next, let's journey to another Pacific island nation, but one with a starkly different and, frankly, quite dramatic story, Nauru. It holds the unique, if somewhat unfortunate, distinction of being the world's smallest island nation, the third smallest country by area overall. Only Vatican City and Monaco are smaller, and the smallest republic. We're talking about a single island, just 21 square kilometers, or about 8.1 square miles. You could probably jog around its circumference in a few hours if you were so inclined and didn't mind the tropical heat. It's located in Micronesia, a rather isolated speck in the Central Pacific. Nauru's history is a truly astonishing tale of boom and bust, a microcosm of resource exploitation and its often devastating consequences. For much of the 20th century, Nauru was incredibly wealthy, almost unimaginably so, thanks to massive deposits of high-quality phosphate rock, essentially ancient bird droppings fossilized over millennia. This Nauru guano was a prime ingredient for fertilizer, and the world couldn't get enough of it. The Nauruans, for a time, had one of the highest per capita incomes on the planet. Think sovereign wealth funds, free healthcare and education, and stories of citizens flying to Australia just for a weekend shopping spree. However, this prosperity came at a tremendous environmental cost. The phosphate mining stripped away vast swathes of the island's interior, leaving behind a barren, jagged, lunar-like landscape, often referred to as topside. It's a haunting visual metaphor for the extractive nature of some economic models. The ecological devastation was profound, impacting biodiversity and the island's ability to sustain itself. And like all finite resources, the phosphate eventually began to run out. The transition from immense wealth to a more challenging economic reality has been, to put it mildly, difficult for Nauru. Mismanagement of funds and a series of questionable investments further complicated the picture. In more recent and often controversial times, Nauru has gained international attention for hosting an Australian-funded offshore asylum seeker processing centre. This has been a significant source of income for the country, but has also drawn considerable criticism from human rights organisations regarding the conditions and the psychological impact on an already vulnerable population. It's a complex ethical quandary, highlighting the difficult choices that small nations with limited economic options sometimes face. It forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about global responsibilities and the interconnectedness of national policies. Despite its challenges, the environmental scars, the economic uncertainties, the geopolitical complexities, Nauru remains home to a resilient people with a distinct culture and language. The Nauruan people have a rich oral tradition, and their history, both ancient and modern, is a compelling study in adaptation and survival. Understanding Nauru means grappling with the legacies of colonialism, the allure and danger of resource dependency, and the harsh realities of global economics. It's a reminder that even the smallest nations can have incredibly complex and globally resonant stories that challenge us to think critically about wealth, environment, and responsibility on a planetary scale. Let's shift our focus from the Pacific to the Indian Ocean, to an archipelago nation that might just tantalize your senses, the Comoros. Officially the Union of the Comoros, it's a volcanic archipelago located off the eastern coast of Africa, at the northern end of the Mozambique Channel. It consists of three major islands, Grande Comore, Ngazija, Moheli, Mwali, and Anjouan and Zwane, plus a number of smaller islets. A fourth major island in the geographic archipelago, Mayotte, remains an overseas department of France, a point of ongoing political discussion, which adds a layer of complexity to its regional identity. Known as the Perfumed Islands, the Comoros are famous for their aromatic plants. Imagine air thick with the scent of ylang-ylang, vanilla, jasmine, and lemongrass. Ylang-ylang in particular is a major export, a key ingredient in many high-end perfumes, including the iconic Chanel No. 5. So, there's a decent chance that a little piece of the Comoros has graced your presence or someone near you without you even realizing it. This olfactory richness is a direct result of its fertile volcanic soil and tropical climate, creating an environment where these fragrant botanicals thrive, shaping not just its economy but also its very sensory landscape. The culture of the Comoros is a fascinating tapestry woven from diverse threads. African, Arab, Malagasy, and French influences are all palpable. This rich blend is reflected in its languages. Comorian, Arabic, and French are official. Its Islamic faith, predominantly Sunni, and its unique traditions. Think vibrant textiles, intricate wood carvings, and a strong oral storytelling tradition. The Grand Mariage, or Great Wedding, is a significant cultural event, often involving elaborate multi-day festivities that showcase community solidarity and social status. It's a society where heritage and modernity are constantly negotiating their space, creating a dynamic and evolving cultural identity. However, the Comoros has also faced significant challenges since gaining independence from France in 1975. Political instability, including numerous coups and attempted coups, has unfortunately been a recurring feature of its post-colonial history, hindering development and creating periods of uncertainty. Economically, it remains one of the poorer countries in the world, grappling with issues like limited infrastructure, reliance on agriculture and foreign aid, and the environmental challenges that affect many island nations, such as deforestation and vulnerability to climate change. Access to education and healthcare also remains a significant concern for many Comorians. Despite these hurdles, the Comoros offers breathtaking natural beauty. From pristine beaches and vibrant coral reefs to lush rainforests, and the active volcano, Mount Cathala, on Grande Comore. There's a raw, untamed quality to its landscapes that appeals to adventurous travelers. The potential for ecotourism is significant, though largely untapped. Understanding the Comoros means appreciating this blend of fragrant allure, rich cultural heritage, and the very real struggles of a developing nation striving to find its footing in a complex world. It's a place where the scent of possibility mingles with the echoes of a challenging past, a true hidden gem, waiting for more of the world to discover its multifaceted story. But Kiribati, where the sun rises first and sea levels rise too. Our next stop takes us back to the vast Pacific, to a nation that holds a rather unique geographical claim, Kiribati, pronounced Kiribati. This sprawling island nation is composed of 33 coral atolls and reef islands, only 20 of which are inhabited, dispersed over an enormous expanse of ocean. We're talking about 3.5 million square kilometers, an area larger than India, though its land area is a mere 811 square kilometers. It's the only country in the world to straddle all four hemispheres, and its easternmost island, Caroline Island or Millennium Island, was the first place on Earth to see the sunrise of the new millennium on January 1st, 2000. That's quite a claim to fame. The people of Kiribati, known as Kiribati, have a rich Micronesian heritage with a culture deeply connected to the ocean. Traditional navigation, fishing techniques, and outrigger canoe building are skills passed down through generations, essential for survival in this environment. Their unique maniaba, or communal meeting houses, are impressive structures, central to village life and decision-making. The Kiribati are known for their resilience, their strong community bonds, and their vibrant cultural expressions, including distinctive song and dance traditions that tell stories of their ancestors and their relationship with the sea. Geographically, Kiribati is exceptionally vulnerable. Most of its land is incredibly low-lying, often just a few meters above sea level, making it one of the nation's most existentially threatened by climate change and rising sea levels. The encroachment of saltwater into freshwater lenses, coastal erosion, and the increasing frequency and intensity of storm surges are not future hypotheticals, but present-day realities. The government of Kiribati has been outspoken on the global stage about this threat, famously purchasing land in Fiji as a potential, albeit heartbreaking, refuge for its people if the worst comes to pass, a concept they call migration with dignity. Economically, Kiribati faces significant challenges. Its remoteness, limited natural resources beyond fisheries, and vulnerability to environmental shocks make sustainable development difficult. The economy relies heavily on fishing licenses, remittances from Kiribati working abroad, often as seafarers, and development aid. The vastness of its exclusive economic zone presents both an opportunity for revenue from fisheries and a challenge in terms of monitoring and preventing illegal fishing. It's a delicate balancing act, trying to harness oceanic resources sustainably while facing the ocean's increasing threat. Kiribati's story is one of profound irony, a nation of skilled seafarers and ocean stewards whose very existence is jeopardized by the actions of industrialized nations far away. It's a place where the beauty of the coral atolls is matched by the starkness of the climate crisis. Learning about Kiribati isn't just about discovering another dot on the map, it's about confronting the human cost of global environmental change and recognizing the courage and resilience of a people fighting for their future, their culture, and their home. It's a call to understand that the lines on our maps are more than borders. They are lifelines for communities on the very edge. 5. Sao Tome and Principe, Africa's chocolate islands. Let's venture now to the Gulf of Guinea off the western equatorial coast of Central Africa to discover the enchanting twin-island nation of Sao Tome and Principe. This is Africa's second smallest country by population, after Seychelles, and one of its smallest by area. These volcanic islands, draped in lush rainforest and fringed by golden beaches, were uninhabited until their discovery by Portuguese explorers in the 15th century. This colonial past has deeply shaped their culture. Language Portuguese is official and, significantly, their agricultural landscape. Sao Tome and Principe were once known as the Chocolate Islands because in the early 20th century they were the world's largest producer of cocoa. The fertile volcanic soil proved ideal for cultivating cacao, as well as coffee and coconuts. The legacy of this era is still visible in the form of old colonial plantations known as rockers, many of which are now being repurposed or stand as hauntingly beautiful ruins reclaimed by nature. Today, high-quality artisanal chocolate production is experiencing a resurgence, offering a sustainable economic path and a delicious reason to visit or seek out their products. The biodiversity of these islands is truly remarkable. Isolated for millennia, they have developed a high number of endemic species, plants and animals, found nowhere else on Earth. Think unique birds like the Sao Tome fiscal or the Principe kingfisher, rare orchids and even giant begonias. Obo Natural Park, covering a significant portion of both islands, protects these precious ecosystems, which include primary rainforests, cloud forests, mangroves and savanna. For nature lovers and biologists, Sao Tome and Principe are a veritable treasure trove, a living laboratory of evolution. Despite their natural beauty and resources, Sao Tome and Principe face economic challenges common to many small island developing states. Historically reliant on cocoa, the economy is now diversifying, with tourism and more recently the potential for offshore oil exploration offering new avenues but also new complexities and potential environmental risks. Political stability has been more consistent here than in some neighboring regions, but navigating sustainable development while preserving its unique ecological heritage remains a key priority. The nation is working to balance economic growth with conservation, a tightrope walk many countries face. Sao Tome and Principe offer a unique blend of African and European influences, a relaxed, take-it-easy lifestyle and a sense of stepping back in time. The warmth of its people, the richness of its natural environment, and the bittersweet taste of its history make it a compelling destination. It's a place that reminds us that even small, seemingly remote islands can have a global impact, whether through the chocolate we consume or the biodiversity they safeguard. It's a testament to the idea that hidden gems often hold the most concentrated forms of beauty and significance, inviting us to look closer and appreciate the delicate balance of culture and nature. 6. Palau, the pristine paradise of Micronesia. We return to the Pacific, specifically to the western reaches of Micronesia, to explore Palau, an archipelago of over 500 islands, of which only a handful are inhabited. Palau is renowned globally among divers and marine biologists for its extraordinarily pristine marine environment, a testament to a long-standing cultural reverence for nature and proactive conservation efforts. Imagine crystal-clear turquoise waters, vibrant coral reefs teeming with an almost psychedelic array of fish, sharks and other marine creatures, and the famous Jellyfish Lake, where you can swim among millions of non-stinging jellyfish. It's an underwater wonderland. Palau's commitment to conservation is deeply embedded in its culture and governance. The concept of bull, a traditional moratorium on resource exploitation, has been modernized into cutting-edge environmental policies. Palau created the world's first nationwide shark sanctuary in 2009 and more recently designated a massive 80% of its exclusive economic zone as a fully protected marine reserve, one of the largest in the world. The Palau Pledge, a stamp in visitors' passports that they must sign, commits them to acting in an ecologically and culturally responsible way during their stay. This is a nation that doesn't just talk about conservation, it lives and legislates it. The history of Palau is complex, having been under Spanish, German, Japanese, and finally United States administration as part of the UN Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands, before gaining full sovereignty in 1994 through a compact of free association with the US. This history has left its marks on the language, culture, and even the landscape, with World War II relics scattered across some islands and underwater. The Palauan people have skillfully navigated these influences while maintaining their unique matrilineal societal structure and rich oral traditions. Their bai, or traditional men's meeting houses, are iconic, adorned with intricate carvings depicting legends and historical events. Economically, Palau relies heavily on tourism, drawn by its spectacular natural beauty, and on financial assistance from the United States under the Compact of Free Association. This reliance on tourism makes its economy vulnerable to global events, as seen during the pandemic, and also puts pressure on its environment if not managed sustainably. The challenge for Palau is to continue to benefit from its natural assets without degrading them, a balance they are actively and often successfully striving to achieve. The focus is on high-value, low-impact tourism, attracting visitors who appreciate and respect the conservation ethos. Palau stands as a shining example of how a small island nation can become a global leader in environmental stewardship. It's a place where the ancient wisdom of traditional conservation practices meets modern scientific understanding to protect a globally significant marine ecosystem. For those seeking to understand the profound connection between culture and nature, or to witness the breathtaking results of dedicated conservation, Palau is an essential destination, a beacon of hope for the future of our oceans. It's a reminder that true wealth isn't just monetary, it's also found in the vibrant health of the natural world. Our journey continues in the Central Pacific to the Marshall Islands, officially the Republic of the Marshall Islands, or RMI. This nation is a sprawling chain of 29 coral atolls and 5 single islands, comprising over 1,100 individual islands and islets scattered across a vast expanse of ocean. Like many Pacific Island nations, the Marshallese people are skilled navigators and have a deep ancestral connection to the sea, which has sustained them for millennia. Their traditional stick charts, intricate diagrams made of shells and coconut fibers representing ocean swell patterns, are a testament to their sophisticated understanding of marine navigation. The Marshall Islands' recent history is inextricably and tragically linked to the Cold War and the nuclear arms race. Between 1946 and 1958, the United States conducted 67 nuclear weapons tests on Bikini and Enewetak atolls. The most infamous of these was the 1954 Castle Bravo test on Bikini, a hydrogen bomb far more powerful than anticipated, which resulted in widespread radioactive contamination, the forced relocation of island communities, and long-term health consequences for many Marshallese. This legacy continues to cast a long shadow over the nation, influencing its politics, health, and international relations. The human cost of these tests has been immense. Generations of Marshallese have suffered from radiation-related illnesses, displacement from their ancestral lands, and the destruction of their traditional way of life. The story of the Bikini Islanders is particularly poignant, still unable to safely return home after decades. The Marshall Islands has been a vocal advocate for nuclear disarmament and for seeking justice and adequate compensation for the damages inflicted upon its people and environment. Their experience serves as a stark reminder of the devastating human and environmental consequences of nuclear weapons. Today, The Marshall Islands is a sovereign nation in a compact of free association with the United States, which provides financial assistance and defense responsibilities. The economy is largely dependent on this aid, as well as fishing licenses and a significant ship registry. Many international vessels fly the Marshallese flag. Like its neighbors, it faces severe threats from climate change, with rising sea levels posing an existential risk to its low-lying atolls. The combination of nuclear legacy and climate vulnerability creates a uniquely challenging set of circumstances for the Marshallese people. Despite these profound challenges, the Marshallese culture endures. Their language, traditions, and strong community ties remain vital. Efforts are underway to preserve their cultural heritage and to address the ongoing health and environmental issues stemming from the nuclear testing era. The Marshall Islands story is one of resilience in the face of almost unimaginable adversity. It's a nation that compels us to confront uncomfortable truths about power, responsibility, and the enduring spirit of a people determined to secure a future for their children on islands that are both their ancestral home and a site of global historical significance. Let's pivot dramatically from the vast Pacific to the heart of Europe, nestled high in the Pyrenees Mountains between France and Spain, the Principality of Andorra. This is a microstate, but what it lacks in size, it more than makes up for in unique history, stunning alpine scenery, and a rather curious political structure. Andorra is the sixth smallest nation in Europe, with an area of just 468 square kilometers, and it's one of the oldest countries in the world, with its origins tracing back to a charter allegedly granted by Charlemagne in return for fighting the Moors. Andorra's political system is a parliamentary co-principality, which sounds complicated because, well, it kind of is in a charmingly archaic way. Its heads of state are two co-princes, the Bishop of Urgell in Catalonia, Spain, and the President of France. This unique arrangement dates back to a feudal agreement in 1278 and has ensured Andorra's neutrality and independence for centuries. Imagine having the French president as one of your heads of state alongside a bishop. It's a fascinating relic of medieval European politics that has somehow persisted into the 21st century, giving Andorra a distinct character. The landscape of Andorra is predominantly mountainous, with an average elevation of nearly 2,000 meters. This makes it a haven for winter sports enthusiasts, with excellent ski resorts like Gran Valira and Valnord attracting millions of visitors each year. In the summer, the rugged terrain offers incredible hiking, mountain biking, and opportunities to explore its Romanesque churches and traditional stone villages. Tourism, along with retail, especially duty-free shopping, forms the backbone of Andorra's prosperous economy. It's a place where nature and commerce have found a way to coexist, drawing people for both its slopes and its shops. Culturally, Andorra is a blend of Catalan, Spanish, and French influences, though Catalan is the official language and its cultural identity is strongly rooted in Catalan traditions. The capital, Andorra la Vella, is the highest capital city in Europe and a bustling hub of activity. Despite its small size, Andorra has a surprisingly cosmopolitan feel, largely due to the influx of tourists and foreign workers. It has managed to preserve its unique heritage while embracing modernity, a balancing act that many small nations strive for. Andorra is a fascinating example of how a small landlocked nation can thrive by leveraging its unique geography and historical circumstances. It's a place that has historically offered refuge and a degree of autonomy, maintaining its sovereignty through centuries of European turmoil. For those interested in quirky political systems, stunning mountain scenery, or just a really good deal on electronics or perfume, Andorra offers a compact but compelling experience. It's a reminder that sometimes the most interesting stories come in the smallest packages, tucked away in the high mountain passes, quietly minding their own fascinating business. From one European microstate to another, let's journey to San Marino, officially the most serene republic of San Marino. This tiny nation is an enclave completely surrounded by Italy, perched dramatically on the slopes of Mount Titano in the Apennine Mountains. With an area of just over 61 square kilometers, it's the third smallest country in Europe and claims to be the world's oldest surviving sovereign state and constitutional republic. founded, according to tradition, on September 3rd, 301 AD by St. Marinus, a stonemason fleeing religious persecution. The history of San Marino is one of remarkable continuity and fiercely guarded independence. For over 1,700 years, it has managed to maintain its sovereignty amidst the turbulent political landscape of the Italian peninsula, avoiding absorption by larger powers through a combination of diplomacy, its easily defensible mountainous terrain, and a bit of good fortune. Its motto, Libertas, liberty, is emblazoned everywhere and deeply ingrained in the national psyche. The iconic three towers of San Marino, Guaita, Sesta, and Montal, perched on Mount Titano's peaks, are powerful symbols of this enduring independence. San Marino's political system is as unique as its history. It's governed by the Captain's Regent, two heads of state who are elected every 6 months by the Grand and General Council, its parliament. This system of diarchy with such short terms is designed to prevent any individual from accumulating too much power and dates back to medieval times. Imagine a country where the leadership changes twice a year. It's a fascinating example of direct democracy and civic participation, albeit on a very small scale. The ceremonial investiture of the Captain's Regent is a spectacle of historical pageantry. The economy of San Marino relies heavily on tourism, finance, and manufacturing, particularly ceramics, tiles, and wine. Millions of visitors flock here each year, drawn by its medieval old town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, its stunning panoramic views, its historical curiosities, and its status as a bit of a shopping haven. It has its own postage stamps and euro coins, which are popular with collectors. The narrow, winding streets, ancient stone buildings, and museums transport you back in time, offering a tangible connection to centuries of history. San Marino is more than just a historical oddity or a tourist destination. It's a living testament to the resilience of small states and the enduring power of self-determination. It's a place where history isn't just in books, it's in the very stones of its fortresses and the traditions of its people. For anyone interested in European history, unique political systems, or simply breathtaking views from a mountain republic, San Marino offers an unforgettable experience. It stands as a proud, tiny beacon of liberty, a reminder that size is no barrier to a rich and enduring national story. Our final hidden gem takes us to another European microstate nestled between Switzerland and Austria, the Principality of Liechtenstein. This German-speaking nation is just 25 kilometers long and covers an area of about 160 square kilometers, making it the fourth smallest country in Europe. It's a doubly landlocked country in the heart of the Alps, renowned for its medieval castles, stunning alpine landscapes, and perhaps more famously in recent decades, its status as a prosperous financial center. Liechtenstein is a constitutional monarchy headed by the Prince of Liechtenstein, whose family has reigned for centuries and from whom the country takes its name. The princely house of Liechtenstein is one of the oldest noble families in Europe, and their ancestral seat, Vaduz Castle, dramatically overlooks the capital city, Vaduz. While the prince holds significant constitutional powers, the country operates as a parliamentary democracy. It's a fascinating blend of monarchical tradition and modern governance, and the relationship between the people and the princely family is generally one of respect and close connection. The country's prosperity is relatively recent. Historically an agrarian society, Liechtenstein transformed itself in the post-World War II era into a highly industrialized free enterprise economy and a sophisticated financial services hub known for its low taxes and banking secrecy, though the latter has come under international scrutiny and undergone reforms. It boasts one of the highest GDPs per capita in the world and an incredibly high standard of living. It's also a significant producer of high-tech manufactured goods, including things like precision instruments and, famously, false teeth, a surprisingly large global exporter. Beyond its financial reputation, Liechtenstein offers an abundance of natural beauty. The Rhine River forms its western border with Switzerland, and the alpine terrain provides ample opportunities for hiking, skiing, and mountaineering. Quaint villages, lush valleys, and well-maintained trails crisscross the landscape. It's a country that takes its environment seriously, with a strong commitment to sustainability and preserving its alpine heritage. For art lovers, the prince's extensive private art collection, one of the finest in the world, is partially accessible through exhibitions. Liechtenstein is a compelling example of how a tiny nation can carve out a successful niche for itself on the world stage. It has leveraged its strategic location, political stability, and entrepreneurial spirit to achieve remarkable economic success while maintaining a strong sense of national identity and a high quality of life for its citizens. It's a place where medieval castles share the skyline with modern industry and where alpine traditions meet global finance. It's a reminder that even the smallest players can be incredibly dynamic and influential, offering a unique model of sovereignty and prosperity in the heart of Europe. Thanks for joining us on this journey to discover some of the world's lesser-known countries. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating content. See you next time. We've journeyed from the sun-drenched atolls of the Pacific, facing the existential threat of rising seas, to the ancient mountain republics of Europe, stubbornly guarding their centuries-old independence. We've seen how history, geography, and human ingenuity have shaped these diverse nations, each with its own unique challenges and triumphs. These aren't just names on a list. They are vibrant, living communities, each contributing its own thread to the rich tapestry of our world. The truth is, the more we learn about these hidden places, the more we realize how interconnected our world truly is. The fate of Tuvalu is tied to global climate action. The history of Nauru is a lesson in resource management for all. The cultural blends of Koros or Sao Tome and Principe reflect centuries of global movement and exchange. And the resilience of places like San Marino or the Marshall Islands speaks volumes about the human spirit. Knowing these stories enriches our understanding not just of geopolitics, but of humanity itself. So, I encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep expanding your own mental map of the world. There's always more to learn, more to understand, and more to appreciate. The world is infinitely more complex and fascinating than we can ever fully grasp, but the pursuit of that understanding, that's where the real adventure lies. Until our next exploration, stay curious and remember that every dot on the map has a story worth telling and a story worth hearing.